Good morning. It is January 22nd. My name is Bob Iaccino, and I'm the head of research and the chief market strategist at TrendyTrade.com. Extremely interesting week as we start the trading week on the third day of the U.S. government shutdown. There's a vote today at 12 noon on another Senate package to potentially reopen the government. It is not expected to pass. You have blaming going on between the two sides and not much progress on immigration, on an immigration wall. That seems to be the main sticking point. All of this really has nothing to do with a continuing resolution, but both sides seem to be digging in. Now, it's not expected to have a huge economic impact, but the optics are terrible for policies going forward, such as an infrastructure bill. But right now, stocks don't seem to care. We've got the Dow up about 15 points right now, NASDAQ up about 29 bucks, and the S&P up about $8 as I speak to you. Over the weekend, we had a summit between OPEC and Russia talking about crude oil prices and whether the production cut has worked, and they seem to agree that they need to continue the production cuts through the balance of 2018, and they even threw 2019 out there as a possibility. Alexander Novak, the Russian energy minister, said that the market has not yet rebalanced. So you're seeing another little bid to crude oil. It's not that much, it's a few pennies right now, but we are back again toward the higher end of the range. Now, this week has a lot of key earnings in different sectors coming out. We've got companies like United Technology, we've got Jan.22.2018, we've got Novartis, we've got Caterpillar, we've got Verizon, a whole slew of earnings. Toward the end of this week, we'll have a decent portion, just under half of the S&P 500 having reported. So far, earnings have been good, especially in the banking sector, and we do have some small regional banks reporting this week as well. But the big news comes later in the week. We've got a Bank of Japan interest rate meeting. They surprised a little bit in their commentary in their last meeting. Don't expect much of a surprise this time. But then we've got the ECB on Thursday. That is the biggest event for the week outside of the U.S. government shutdown. Mario Draghi has been very sort of mild in his discussion of owning the EU economic growth and owning the possibility that they may need to cut back their asset purchase plan a little bit earlier than the market has heard about, at least from Mario Draghi. When he speaks after this meeting, the market will be looking for any sort of hint that they've discussed it or considered it. Mario Draghi tends to under-deliver on his comments about the stimulus and about the economy, and if he even goes the slightest bit hawkish, markets will react. Right now, we've got a huge bullish trend in the euro versus the US dollar. We're up 13 of the last 16 weeks and 3 weeks in a row in the euro versus the US dollar. Right now, the dollar is pretty much flat. 10-year note pit behind me, that's the 10-year options pit. You see behind me, the 10-year note is backed up a little bit on yields, about 263. So very interesting week. Volatility still high relative to the last few months, back up above 10, so we'll see how the week plays out. This is Bob Iaccino, Chief Market Strategist and Head of Research for TrendyTrade.com and TrendyTrade Pro.